Every year, the Economist Intelligent Unit ranks cities around the world for how livable they are. For 2022, Vienna ranked as the most livable city on the planet. Quite impressive, right? Well, tell you what's more impressive. Excluding 2021, Vienna has ranked either as the most or second most livable city on the planet for over a decade. So what makes the Austrian capital so special, and why is it such a great city to live in? In 2022, Vienna received a score of 99.1. Placing them above the likes of Copenhagen, Zurich and Calgary of Denmark, Switzerland and Canada respectively. But before we jump into this video, let's take a quick look at what it means to be a livable city. The world's most livable cities is an informal name given to any list of cities as they rank on an annual survey of living conditions for its residents. In addition to providing clean water, clean air, adequate food and shelter, a livable city must also generate a sense of community. Therefore, it comes to no surprise that cities like Lagos of Nigeria, Damascus of Syria and Dhaka of Bangladesh all rank as being some of the least livable cities on the planet. At around 2 million, Vienna is a decent-sized medium city. It's not too large like say London, Tokyo or New York City, but isn't too small to the point where it's insignificant or has nothing to offer. Vienna is of course the capital city of Austria, a modern developed country rich in history, culture and arts. Austria itself, although only having a population of around 9 million, punches well above its weight when it comes to its economy size and general influence on the world. Ranking as the 33rd largest economy on the planet with a GDP of around $480 billion, this places them above the likes of Egypt, the Philippines and Vietnam, who all have populations of over 11 times more. Vienna, although a medium-sized city, often ranks in the top 10 as the greenest cities on Earth. And by green, we don't just mean the actual city itself is green from all the plants and trees, but more to do with its environmental performance. The greener a city is, the less relative levels of pollution, which of course is priceless to human health. Put it this way, would you rather live here in Vienna or here in Dhaka, Bangladesh? According to the website numbeo.com, which is a crowdsourced data website relating to quality of life of cities and countries around the world, Vienna ranks as the 5th best city on Earth for the traffic index, which is seriously impressive, considering it is not only a capital city, but a city of around 2 million people. When I was researching people's opinions of Vienna and why it is so great, one of the common factors is its impeccable public transport system. One person said, "The public transport is to die for. It works perfectly and is more than affordable. It costs about €365 for a yearly pass, about €1 a day. Within the city limits, there are 11 paths to be out in nature, all accessible by public transport. There is no need to own a car. This of course helps with pollution levels and means people can spend their hard-earned cash on nicer things as opposed to an expensive car." Vienna and Austria as a whole is located in a fantastic place too. It is pretty much slap bang in the middle of Europe. Within a couple of hours drive, you can access several different countries. Within a couple of hours of flying, you can access most of Europe, and with most of them being in the EU, there is no need for difficult and awkward border crossings. If you are driving, travelling to a different country is just like travelling to a different city within your country. Although not perfect, Vienna is a very safe city to live in, even with it being its country's capital. For all but one crime statistic, it ranks as low. When you compare it to Paris, for example, you can see that it is miles ahead of the French capital in terms of crime and safety. Although it is not the most cheapest place to live in Europe, considering it is a well-developed city who ranks as the most livable on Earth, it is certainly not as expensive as other European capitals. The average salary across Vienna is around €52,000. In, let's say, London, it's more like €63,000, so around 20% less. However, the cost of living is so much cheaper in the Austrian capital. specifically rent, which is around 54% cheaper than in London. Austria ranks as the country with the second highest level of English proficiency in the world. Now, of course, being able to speak English doesn't necessarily make it a great place to live. But with English being the most widely spoken language on the planet, this makes it easier to communicate with the locals if you're travelling or emigrating from a different country. With Vienna being the capital of Austria, which is where you'll find most of its business being made, it is fair to say that Vienna could be the city with some of the highest levels of proficiency in English anywhere on Earth outside of English-speaking countries. Vienna's architecture and design is second to none, and often finds itself ranking as one of the most beautiful cities not only in Europe, but in the world. The city lies on the Danube River, the second longest river on the continent. So overall, Vienna is an amazing place with history, culture, beautiful architecture, great transport links, infrastructure, and is a very safe place indeed. It is quite clear as to why the Austrian capital has ranked as 2022's most livable city. Now, will Vienna secure #1 spot for 2023, or could another city take its place? With, touch wood, the pandemic over and the end of lockdowns, could its biggest competitor, Melbourne of Australia, once again take that top place from Vienna? Thank you for watching today's video. If you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing. It is 100% free and you can always unsubscribe at any time. Thank you again for watching, and we will see you soon in our next video.